Can you share with us any failure you've had in your life and kind of what you've learned from that?
The biggest one that comes to my head is in high school. I desperately wanted to be on the Orchesis team, which is basically just like a dance team that my high school had, and I really wanted to join it. So I did my auditions, I did everything that I could, I practiced so hard, and then they didn't include me, and I was devastated. That next week, Palms was having auditions. We just do dancing and the big kick lines, but we still have like the pom-poms and everything. So my mom was like, you should do that. And I was devastated. I said, Mom, no, I can't be rejected from two things before even starting high school. And then my lovely aunt was like, you should do it. And it's not my mom telling me to do it. So I'm like, okay. And she came and she picked me up and we did the audition piece, and they called out at the end of the 3 days of auditions who made it right in front of everyone. And I was terrified. And the coach started it by saying, we're going to call for junior varsity first and then varsity. And just so you know, most of the time, freshmen, you won't get accepted into varsity. It's not anything to make you upset, but we're just saying most of the time you'll be put on junior varsity. So they run through all the junior varsity names, and mine isn't called. I'm sitting there, tears welling up in my eyes, thinking to my mom, this is all your fault. I'm going to yell at her. I'm going to cry to her. This is all her fault. And I was getting so angry. And then someone tapped me on the shoulder and was like, hey, isn't that your name? And I was like, what? They're like, they just called Elizabeth Klashevitz. And I was like, yeah, that's me. For varsity? She's like, yeah, you have to go in. And I was like, oh my God. So I walk in and I'm like, this isn't right. This isn't what's happening. And then sure enough, it was. I was a freshman on varsity. I absolutely loved it. I had made the most amazing friends. I performed at every single varsity football and basketball home game. We went to competitions. And then at the end of the year, the big thing that I wanted was this award where the coaches basically decide one player or one teammate gets this award, and then they get their face up on the walls of the gym. And I was like, that's what I want. And sure enough, my senior year, I won that.
The Raising Resilient Kids podcast is produced, hosted, and edited by sister brother team Jeannie and Tom Klashevitz. Do you know a kid or teen who has a question they would like answered by one of our guests? If so, visit www.smarthwp.com/Raising Resilient Kids podcast. Thanks for listening.